up on my bullshit, back up on the move. Touchdown in my hometown, got nothing to lose. I am on my own now, I am in control now. Ain't need you to go now, I can fix my own.
What's up, my heathens? It's your favorite mental health patient, Quinn, and I am back at it again. This time, I will be telling a thread of stories that go ahead and lead up to one big one. So go ahead, strap up, get your seatbelts on, and get ready for this ride. Now, today I will be telling y'all about my second transgender experience. It was a relationship, yes. I've only had two. So don't do me. So before we get into this video, go ahead, comment, like, and subscribe, and turn on your post notifications because it's finna get crazy. Now, I met, what can I call her? I met Corey on my way to Chicago to meet my mom. Now, I had been bored, of course. I needed new friends in a new city. So I went to the only places that I like to go for new friends in a new city, Tammy. It might be a dating app for some, but I definitely be putting looking for friends only. I don't really be looking for relationships. I never put that because it brings all the weirdos. And I know that firsthand because I put it and that's what went wrong. So upon meeting her, I'm looking down at my notepad because I have to keep this in order. Now, upon meeting her, I actually first met her face to face. We had a very online-ish relationship. Now, when I met her face to face, I was living with my mother. I had, again, just moved to Chicago. I was looking to work. I was looking to figure out my life there. Now, upon figuring my life out there, I was like, okay, I know I can't be here. I can't live with my mom because of all the stuff that went down. So I ended up moving. Now, Corey helped me do such a thing. She lived out in Gary. She actually came, got me, took me over there. Now, this wasn't a request by me. This is more along the lines of everything had boiled up to this point. Now, let me go ahead and get into that. I actually went to her house. I went to Corey's house and I ended up staying the night over. I already knew there was a curfew in Chicago at that time, so we had to be inside at a certain time. And I just wasn't finna be out past curfew. And no, I'm not finna do that. I'm not even finna take the trip out there from Gary to Chicago. Not only was I not finna come back after curfew, but I was not going to come back when in Gary at that time, it was definitely flooded. And Corey was not driving in that water. She had a regular car. She had a regular 4-door car, so she wasn't driving in that water. It wasn't no truck, no big body, none of that. So she had let me stay the night over there. When I stayed the night over at Corey's house, it was actually pretty decent. Like, we got some food, we stayed in for the night, we had sex, we chilled, we watched movies, we played the game. It was actually a very chill experience. So when I was like, okay, I gotta go home the next day, I went home the next day. I get home and me and my mother get into it because she's telling me, she told me to be back, come back right now. And the right now was after curfew. And they said, nobody on the streets. I'm not doing that. You're not finna get me locked up because you want me to come home no. So Corey had already told me, like, cause she was sitting there when I was texting my mom back and forth, and when my mom was calling me and trying to ping me on Life 360. Corey was sitting there. She was like, "You don't even have to go through there. Just come over here. I live by myself. Um, my brother here, but he's barely ever here because he's always at work. Yada yada yada. We'll do with the woo." I was like, "Okay, bet." So once I packed up my stuff, or once I went home, I was like actually trying to not move. I tried speaking to my mom. My mom actually was really upset that I did not come home after curfew and that I wasn't finna drive in no flooded water. So she told me go, since I can't respect her wishes of her home, and come back because I'm still a child and blah blah. And I was like, it wouldn't have been this if I was gone looking for a job or making money. But she knows very well that I was actively looking for work. Now, if you're not gonna take me to no job interviews, I can't work. I can't hop on the bus every day because the way it was just too much. I didn't know nothing. I had just moved there. I didn't know nothing. So I actually started learning more about Chicago while staying with my mom, but I still couldn't understand the bus routes. I'm used to named streets only, and they have names and numbers. Mm-mm. So I had told Corey what had happened and that me and her had got into it. She came and got me. She transgender. She came and got me, and it was that. So I was staying at Corey's house. I ended up going ahead and um filing for my unemployment, and I ended up getting my unemployment. I got my food stamps. I was like really happy. And not only was I still filing for unemployment, but I was also still looking for a job. I really like, I feel like money off the government is money that I'd have to pay back someday. But yeah, so I would put some money towards Corey's bills. I would put food stamps towards the house because we were living there together. Once I crossed into Corey's threshold, she told me like, "This is your home. You could be safe here. You could be yourself here." Again, my brother lives upstairs. She gave me like the full tour of the house. I cooked. What did I cook? I think I made lasagna. So we ended up going to the store. I made lasagna. It was some type of pasta. So I made something, and we sat there and we chilled and we watched movies. And I like sat there and I cried because I was like, why? I literally came all the way to Chicago to meet this lady, and she really like treats me the same way. Like she just treats me like shit. She treats me the same way everybody else do. So I I'm living with Corey now, and mind you, my very first time coming to her house was just the day before. Now, let's back it up. Because the day before I met her brother, the next morning when everything was said and done, I woke up. I went to go wash my face and brush my teeth, and a lady in a tutu ran out the room. Like, so the rooms is right next to each other, and then the bathroom is right across from there. And then it goes down some steps. I ran into a lady in a tutu. So, so I ended up I ended up I ended up staying with Corey. And Corey really like, we was doing good. Everything was going great. I had no tattoos, no piercings, y'all. She took me to go get my first tattoo down the street from her house to the same person she wanted across her chest because she wanted her line on her from her surgery to not show from when she had her breast removed. So That's what she was going for, but I ended up getting my Gemini tattoo on my back. Now, y'all, I fell asleep during my first tattoo. I was talking to my tattoo artist, and I ended up falling, like, dozing off when him and my him and Corey started talking, and I was just asleep. Now, I'm laying there asleep. I wake up, I look over my shoulder, and I'm like, "Are you done yet?" And he was like, "You asleep?" I said, "Yeah, I was asleep. I was bored." So that's what started me into getting the rest of my tattoos. Um, so after I got my first tattoo, I gave the tattoo artist 180. And he said, "You can keep that. I actually want to tattoo you more because you're a blank canvas, and I want a blank canvas." Now, upon being at this tattoo artist's house, um, I ran into again the tutu lady. So the tutu lady was like, "Oh, I seen you," and I was like, "Yeah, I seen you too." And I had already told Corey I had seen a woman in a tutu run out of her other room. And she was like, "That's probably her brother girlfriend." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So now I'm running into this tutu lady again, and I'm just looking like, "Oh, wow, hi again. So you came from down the street?" And we ended up sparking a conversation because I found it actually very funny that she had a tutu on. So we ended up planning something for them to come through and smoke with me and Corey. Now, me, I am a pothead. I prefer weed over anything. I have tried other drugs as well, but weed is my main thing that I like to do. The only thing that I really like to do. Um, so we invite them over. This couple, she's like, "This is my husband." And he's like, "This is my wife." I had asked, I was like, "Are y'all legally married?" She said, "No, but we're working on it." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So then me and Corey are now sitting with them in Corey's room, and we're all smoking. So it's me, Corey, the tattoo artist, and the tutu lady all sitting in the room smoking. And I actually caught a vibe with the tutu lady, and me and her actually, like, we exchanged numbers and we flirted, and it was just like a lot going on. So I think the whole thing was like with Corey couldn't take flirting as just flirting. She had to really like go over the top and be like, "I'm trying to have sex with this lady. I'm trying to do this and this and this and this and this." But the tutu lady had sat there. She was like making comments. She was like, "Oh, can I keep her? Can I keep her?" And I was like, can we keep her? Can we keep her?" So we was really just trying to keep each other. And it really started off as a friendship with somebody that I really thought, "Oh yeah, this is cool. This is neat." Like, I have an actual female friend. I have no friends. I have an actual female friend. And she has a boyfriend, husband, and I can go over there and I can hang out with them. So now Corey sees this and hears these things and starts automatically assuming, like, "Oh, this is what you're trying to do. This is what you're trying to do. Yada, 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 yada." So I go next door so I didn't have to. I go down the street to the tattoo artist and tutu lady's house, and just so I didn't have to hear it, because I don't want to hear that. So y'all, I ended up having like a migraine because the whole week was like that. The whole week. It was insane how long like she was talking about this. And I'm like, I can't have no friends. I can't have not one friend. I have to stay in the house and be friendless, and the only person I talk to is you. That's crazy. So I started seeing a different side of Corey, and it was definitely an obsessive one. Now, I used to always be texting the tutu. I used to text the tutu lady like, I don't even know what's going on. Was she like cool with y'all? She would be like, oh well, we ain't never had no problem with her. We ain't never have no problem with her speaking about Corey. I keep forgetting because I keep wanting to say the name, and then so y'all bear with me. So Corey ends up texting or calling me back to back to back, and I'm ignoring the calls because I really don't want to hear it. I really don't want to argue. I really don't want to hear nothing else, because all it is her saying that me and this girl are doing something. And this is like before me and the girl even ended up doing anything. So me and Corey, I stopped ignoring her calls, and me and Corey sat on the phone. Me and the tutu lady was sitting there, and she was telling me how she felt, and it was just so much. It was so much. And she was saying how she was scared to lose me, and yada yada yada, and let's talk about it when she get home. I was like, okay. So I hung up the phone. I go home, or I go back home. Yes, I go back home. And I'm sitting there waiting. Now I have a migraine. When I say a migraine, y'all, I have a migraine because I've been hearing about the same thing all week. The same exact thing. And hearing the same thing all week. So y'all, when I got home, I took some Tylenols. Now I took some Tylenols, and I'm not really supposed to take Tylenols, but I took some Tylenols, and I took like 4 of them. And it was like after I popped the first one, because she called me while she was on her way home. After I popped the first one, I ended up popping 3 more after that. So she really only seen me take 3. And then when I told her, like, I took a 4th one, she said, if I'm trying to kill myself, go do it somewhere else and not in her house. Off of 4 pain pills? It's crazy. So I packed my stuff, and I told, I let her know, like, I'm not finna do this. And I went down the street. Now, she came down the street after me to tell me not to leave. But to tell me to go kill myself somewhere else off of 4 Tylenols is crazy. So I had told the tutu lady, I was like, she's tweaking, like, and she would be privy to a lot of me and Corey's conversations. Like, I used to show her everything. That was like really my friend. And she used to be like, why is she even doing all that? Like, what is really going on? Like, and I had to tell her, like, she's really like obsessive. I could tell her no, she throws a huge fit. Like, when I say a huge fit, she sits there and she'll be crying. I told her no, I didn't want to have sex. Having sex. It just started becoming forced. She started getting mad when I told her no, I didn't want it. She started telling me like I didn't love her because I didn't give it to her. Like, and it got to a point where I was just over it. I don't even want you on top of me. I'm finna get on top of you. So we ended up switching positions. Now, I think that was the problem because nobody had done so. She wanted to get pregnant in a natural way. So that was, I guess, before she met me and after me and her stopped talking. So now I done got accused of screwing with the tutu lady, the tattoo artist, and boom, now she starts saying that I was messing with her brother. This is before I did anything, y'all. Anything. Before I did anything. You automatically say that I'm doing something with your brother, but isn't your brother girlfriend the tutu lady, and whatever they got going on, and me and you are supposed to be here? Now, I tried to fix it. Now, back then, I like I said, I've tried a lot of drugs. So back then I was popping pills, I was smoking weed. That's the only two things that I was doing. And I hadn't popped a pill in a long time. So I was just smoking weed. Now, we ended up getting hot, or I ended up popping a pill with the tutu lady and the tattoo artist, and Corey's brother ended up popping a pill as well. And so we start going over there so that Corey can pop a pill so that she feels more included. Now, this is right before I actually left Corey's house. Now, we popped these pills and we all chilling. We all chilling. Like, we didn't feel nothing. But I guess Corey's pill hit a little different because she went upstairs and laid it down. And I asked her if she was okay, and she said she was fine. But that pill was definitely beating her. Like, it was definitely beating her. So I go downstairs, and me and the tutu lady then cut up about this whole situation because we was like, kiki, we finna wax him, he finna be bald. He ain't finna have no hair on his nipples because this is her boyfriend. So I'm like, okay, I love this for you. Yeah. Wax. Going. Like, so I go ahead, wax the man. Again, I go up there and check up on Corey. Corey is up there, look like she finna pass out. So I asked if she was okay. She said, yeah, she's finna fall asleep. I was like, okay, cool. Now, I didn't know that this was her first time doing such things. I didn't know this was her first time popping a pill. I didn't know any of this. I thought, or I assumed, that she had done so already with how readily she popped it. But it wasn't nobody else feeling it but her. So now, I done finished waxing this man. And this mug upstairs come tumbling down the stairs, and he was like, oh, if y'all go down the street, make sure you lock the door behind y'all on the bottom lock. Quinn, take the keys, lock the top lock. I was like, okay. So y'all, to keep it real, I got my coochie ate on the couch, and it was horrible. It was like, I don't like it. And that and the next dude is really when I was like, bro, I keep telling people I've tried to like men on several different occasions. I have tried within different stages of my life to see if I would like this, and it is just not something that I like.
Said an oops.
Now, the brother has now done this to me. The tutu lady was like, go ahead, just try it. Maybe you like it now. You never know. She tried to open my eyes to make me feel like this is something that I really wanted to do with this person. So, I told her after I did it, and I vowed to, like, I'm not even finna tell this lady, Corey, like, this has happened, because she is going to flip. And it wasn't even good. It's just going to be on the fact that I did it. So I did not tell her. And they told me, they was like, I wouldn't have told her either. So eventually she starts being like, oh, you don't never want to be at home with me anymore. And I'm like, you don't even go to work anymore. That is a problem. I am really, like, trying to help you here. I'm still here. I'm still giving you money. I'm still putting food in here. I'm not understanding. I told her, me and her were arguing over the fact that she said I left her upstairs. That was her first time. And I was like, why didn't you tell nobody that was your first time popping a pill? Like, if you would have told us, we would have been more aware of the situation, and we would have all been able to be here. Now, not only did I not know, but she told me that if I were to go down the street or we were to go down the street, to just lock the door, which I did. I ended up going down the street. Y'all, my goodness. She woke up. She was mad that I had went down the street. I'm finna go and chill. I'm finna go smoke. We're not just finna sit here while you upstairs sleep. That makes no sense. What else is there to do? So she was like, Corey was like, oh, you can go ahead and go down the street then. So I said, okay, bet. And I had her brother come help me pack my stuff down the street or not even down the street. So the tutu lady and the tattoo artist pulled their van up to the back of the house, and I packed all my stuff up. I made sure I got all of my stuff and moved. And I had her brother, the tutu lady, and the tattoo lady, artist help me do such things. Now, I did what I did. It is what it is. I tried to live a party life. I tried to go ahead and try this same thing with the tattoo artist. Now, me and the tattoo artist have literally attempted to have sex one time back in 2020. And it was like, it just wasn't working. It wasn't working at all. The tutu lady was sitting right there. She was like, it's not going, it's not going, it's not going. And I was like, because this doesn't work for me. Like, penetration just doesn't work for me. Doesn't work with penis. Now, my bad, y'all, had to use the bathroom. Okay, so now we are at the part where I go ahead and am fucking the tutu lady. I am now fucking on the tutu lady. I only was fucking on the tutu lady because actually, like, having intercourse with the men were not pleasurable for me. It was not a thing that I really wanted to do, so I just did not do it. Now, both these men were perfectly fine with that. They was just going to be fucking on the tutu lady. I'm like, okay, I'm fine with that. I will be too. Now, have I sucked a little dick? Yep, I have. I've done a couple of things. I did quite a few things in that relationship. Like, all the drugs that I took with them. All of the, if it was, now I can name them because I don't think I can name them on YouTube. But I didn't use no needles, so it wasn't needle play. It wasn't none of that. Now, let's take it back. So, Corey ended up coming down the street and coming to try to get me back to come, like, to be in a relationship with her, and also trying to get me to move back in. Now, this was not finna happen. I wasn't even finna do it. But the tutu lady was telling me, like, you can at least go hang out with her. She's lonely. She can hang out with us. We don't have nothing against her. I said, I kind of do, because she told me to go kill myself somewhere else, as if I was trying to kill myself with pills. And she ended up having Corey apologize for saying that, and I forgave it. Now, me and Corey and the tutu lady and the tattoo artist and the brother are now hanging out. All of us. Now, this is still, isn't said that I have let her brother do this to me. So I was like, okay, let's go hang out. Where what we finna do, we finna go get high. The tattoo artist finna do a tattoo maybe. And we finna chill out. We just vibing. Like, let's go ride around, let's go do stuff. So we all ended up at the beach, high as I don't know what. Me and the tutu lady ended up with a yeast infection. And this is still all happening while Corey is here at the beach with us. So we didn't exclude her at all. We interacted with her. We tried to bring her into the water with us. Everybody was in the water. She just would rather sit like closer to the sand. She didn't want water in her hair. She didn't really want to do nothing. And she kept trying to push me to come climb up on her and for her to hold.